49ers.
Coming up later today, Keanu makes a sweet November deal for $15 million. Plus, digital technology makes it possible for every Junior Spielberg to say, roll 'em. That's next on HreporterTV.com, the dot to watch.
In the next wave of Hollywood filmmaking, all young directors will need is the right equipment and a good idea. Low-budget digital films may very well change the way Tinseltown works. Micro-budget movies like Robert Rodriguez's El Mariachi, Kevin Smith's Clerks, and The Blair Witch Project, made for less than $50,000, helped establish a new breed of independent filmmakers in the 1990s. Now, as the curtain closes on the decade, the power of digital technology is giving a growing number of writers and directors the opportunity to bring their visions to life. John Fitzgerald, director of the American Film Institute's annual film festival since 1997, has seen a dramatic increase in the number of movie submissions.
When people like Kevin Smith did Clerks for $13 or $15 or whatever $1,000, it showed people that anybody could make a film. Sometimes when you have limited resources, interesting things come out of it. Clerks was a great example of that.
Making movies with digital cameras is far less expensive than shooting on film, which appeals to aspiring filmmakers who don't have big studio budgets to draw from. And recently, established directors like Mike Figgis and Wayne's World's Penelope Spheris have shot movies using digital cameras. Spheris told Reporter TV, "I feel totally liberated by the dawn of digital filmmaking. Through this process, brilliant filmmakers will rise to the surface." Or will they? John Fitzgerald, who ignited a controversy this year by cutting the number of AFI Festival films in half, thinks that the promise of the technology is exaggerated.
What happens is people think that they know what it takes. They buy a book and they go out and they blast out a screenplay and they go and they make a movie and they, sell their car or borrow money from mom and dad and charge money on credit cards. The problem is a lot of those people don't really know how to tell a story and put their friends in the lead roles, and there are very, very few that can actually break out and find a theatrical release.
That won't stop the rising tide of young filmmakers like NYU graduate Evan Aronson from trying. After 3.5 years and $500,000, his movie Baggage, shot on film, is still in search of domestic distribution.
We actually ran out of money, which meant that the film was kind of sitting on the shelf, and I was hoping that I would then take the rough cut and get more investors. So we had a rough cut, we went out, we tried to raise more money, and finally we did. We finally got, another investor who saw the rough cut, really liked it, and we were able to finish the film.
Worn out from shooting the movie, Aronson took a vacation in Peru, where muggers held him at gunpoint and tried to use his credit cards, which were already maxed out thanks to Baggage.
The whole time I was thinking, I'm really dying for my art right now. I mean, this is like literally dying for your art, because if I had not made the film and I had money on the credit cards, they would have gotten the money and they would have let me go, because they kept on going back and forth to the bank.
And though the digital revolution holds out the promise of more economical movie making, the product glut may make it even harder for young filmmakers to break through.
The festival market is absolutely saturated. No question about it.
Evan Aronson, who's waiting to hear if Baggage was accepted into Sundance, acknowledges that the process has taken its toll.
You really have to develop a thick skin dealing with this, because you just get rejection after rejection after rejection. It's like any other creative endeavor. So you just have to be a strong person and work through it.
If the digital low-budget revolution brings nothing else, it will bring a glut of new product. Who will emerge as the new digital stars? Well, that's a story that's yet to be told. Keanu Reeves